Robbins understood the side benefits of despair, so as Jim presented his reasons for suicide, he refuted them one by one.
So having said that, what I see is two things. Number one, that it's not a possibility now because no one would pay, so it's a moot discussion. Second thing is, you're not a man who is selfish. You're not a selfish guy. Your whole model is to sacrifice, which is to give up your needs for other people's needs. And you know, no matter what you try to tell me, or what you try to rationalize, that some part of her, even if she's a money-grubbing bitch,
she's not.
Some part of her would feel a level of guilt that would destroy her life because of your wanting to get what you want, which is out from the burden of feeling this guilt.
The dilemma's almost been more than that. That satisfies one part. The other part would destroy my mom. It would loving brothers. I have a very small family. We don't, not extended, or
right.
But it's extremely close. They're very concerned for me,
yes.
And they've expressed it a lot.
The reason you've thought about it, if I may say so, and you can correct me if you think I'm completely wrong, and I'm not suggesting you wouldn't do it like you don't have the guts to do it, because it takes no guts to kill yourself. It takes guts to live. Any fucking idiot can take themselves and just run out and use some justification, because it's a great way to try to end pain. The only problem with that is, who knows what happens to somebody who takes the gift of life from themselves. Because none of us really know what happens when we pass on. Whether you believe in some religious version or not, there is nothing in the world that ever gets destroyed. Everything just changes form. So I know that you're not really selfish. I know you really want love more than anything. I know you've been driven by significance. And I know also that by sincerely, and I know this has been sincere, so don't get me wrong, I'm talking about the difference between your conscious thoughts and your unconscious thoughts. Consciously, I know you've truly considered this option. But unconsciously, you could never go there because you're not a destructive person to others. So you would not hurt your mother and your brother, and you would not put the guilt into someone's mind. You would not do it. But by considering it consciously, you do accomplish something else. You give yourself severe enough pain that you think you deserve for hurting someone this badly.
Yep.
And you show others, even though you don't say you're going to commit suicide, just by the state, since you're really considering it, that you don't take this lightly and that you do care at the deepest level. And so it's a form of repentance is that you've been trying to do by punishing yourself. At the deepest level, there could be no greater punishment besides the loss of your identity.
There's other things I would add to it, but yes, that's the essence. It's been unlivable one way, it's been unlivable the other. And,
but it has to be lived.
And that's so far, at times, not always, because I've utilized a lot of the materials I've learned from you and others.
Yes.
A great deal. So it's not unlivable at all times.
I know.
It's just, I don't ever know when.
I know.
So, I wake up about every hour and a half, and I wake up with the thoughts of this last year and many other years, because it's not just this last year. I realized one of the things I wrote in the letter to myself was, I was a company's chief financial officer. I was damn good at it. So I had all kinds of people always tell me how great I was with money. And for the company I was. And for myself, it just sucked. I'm just not good at it. And I finally wrote it down. I'm really not good at this money thing. And it's just...
Ladies and gentlemen, man, that's a breakthrough.
Jim is lightening up with self-deprecating humor. Robbins reinforces this small breakthrough by asking for audience applause.
What are you good at, though? You're good at something to have accomplished all that, even though you're CFO and you're not good with money. Now, that is an achievement.
I was.
Tell me how you accomplished that, because that is amazing, because you're good at something.
Actually, I had the privilege over the 13 years of the company. I grew it from $2 million to $24 million. We serve... I say the following, so the context of what my job was, not about... We served children and adults with disabilities, and I always loved that what we do wasn't, we put out 400,000 tires this year, and last year we only did 300,000 tires, or, you were able to buy another yacht with our money, and I don't mean you personally. It's whoever owned the company can go buy a new toy. I mean, we made a huge difference in people's lives. And what I'm So what I was good at in my job, I had the privilege to really create my job. From when I started, there was just myself as an actual staff person and 2 temporaries. I ended up hiring them on, and later they changed. And I ultimately had about 16 or so staff, but we grew from 19 employees to 650. And we served over 2,000 people a day, very intensely. We had after-school programs, but not a once a week. Had a little meeting. I mean, we had medically fragile and severe disabilities, and we had staff that were just awesome. They still are, but economic times caught up with our charity, and the California work comp and insurance and on and on. It just was a killer to our business.
Everybody needs a compelling future, and men must have a clear mission and a way that you could be even more significant than you have been in the past. Now, anyone I've ever known who's truly successful, or any good story I've ever been to, has the second act. In the first act, the person succeeds enormously, and everything looks perfect, and right at the peak of it going really great, what happens? The unthinkable happens, doesn't it? Some horrible thing outside their control happens, and it destroys everything. They lose their love, they die, or their business goes crazy, or they lose the game, or everything disappears. I mean, this is fairly predictable. We even know about what stage it happens. Usually about, not quite halfway, usually half to 2/3 of the way through the film, right? And how old are you?
49.
Oh, so we're not even halfway through. We're halfway, 2/3 of the way through the film.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And right then, the worst thing happens, and the character becomes despondent, and the character thinks there'll never be another future, and it's over, and they can never do this again. And the worst thing you want to do is start over, because if you use those words, it's too overwhelming, because you don't even know where the fuck you could do that, because you don't even know if you could do it, because what if it was a fluke the first time? I mean, it wasn't a fluke, but I mean, to be able to find that kind of vehicle again and make it all come together and all that stuff, plus the total shame of all the losses and all the disappointments and the loss of love and the loss of identity and all those pieces. So I ought to just check out. And some people's life stories are warnings, and they do check out. But most films are about something that inspire. And the only reason they inspire is because the person went through the worst fucking enemy they can imagine. They dealt with the external enemy of the people they felt played a role in that process. They dealt with the intimate enemy, like their sister-in-law. And they dealt with the internal and their mom and everybody else that would be affected. And they deal with the internal enemy within themselves that's saying, life's not worth living, and at the same time, I really do want to give, and at the same time, I can't. At the same time, I got to live, but I just can't live. And they go through all these fucking battles. But eventually, there's a self-revelation if they decide to stay in the game. And the revelation allows them so they don't have to build another thing. They don't have to make all the money. They just have to do what's right at the next level. And they learn all kinds of ways. Some of them actually go to that woman and they say, I'm going to work and you get 50% of everything I earn, whatever the fuck I do, if I have to be a janitor until this is done, and I will find a way to make it back. I will build some of the business, I will do it. You can hate me, you can do whatever it is, but I will do everything in my power to do it. I even considered suicide, but I wouldn't put the guilt on my mother. I don't think you'd have that, and I'm not that weak. I'm here to stand here and be accountable. So that's what some people do as an example.
Robbins reinforces once more the directive to start over and gives Jim his revelation. The only way to regain his sense of significance is to be accountable, not to hurt anyone, and to pay his debt, no matter how hard he has to work to do it. If Jim can return to his higher mission of contributing beyond himself, his sense of significance will regenerate on its own.
What some people do is they figure out of all those processes that, holy shit, this is a great gift. I've been trying to be something I'm not my whole life, so I can't feel all the love and connection because I got to constantly be positioning for significance. And on top of it, I got to be good at numbers when I'm not. What I'm really good at is creating relationships and empowering people. That's how I actually built this, is I empowered people and I cared so much and we served so many people and I had a higher mission, so power moved to me. So if I got back to a higher mission, not just about myself anymore, then power would move to me. The power can't move to me as long as I'm focused on myself. Now I have a right to have felt this way. In fact, not only do I have a right, but more importantly, I need to prove to myself that I am not some person who doesn't give a shit, that I take these things seriously. So I've taken myself to the edge of being suicidal, but it's time to get back in the game so that I can give back. Because I don't want to cheat all those people that used to be helped by me in the company that I was involved with when I can still bring it. And I don't have to actually fund it to make a difference. I could just volunteer once a week. And I could make a difference that's directly associated, and I could have that same feeling I had before, and I could become part of a team and not have to be self-significant. And I could also gradually build something significant that I'm proud of in that area. Or maybe the significance is just one person I'm here for, like my mother, caring for her and loving her, instead of being inside myself about how to run away.
By speaking in the first person, Robbins introduces new options, showing Jim what he would do in the same circumstances and allowing Jim to identify with him as a successful businessman. Reframing the suicide thoughts as going to the edge and back, Robbins gives Jim a way back to life as he defines his original mission, to help others.
So some people do that. And what some people do is they do all that while they plot and plan, and they try something and it doesn't work because your plan usually doesn't work, and they do something else, doesn't work, and finally they do something new. And the something new ties in their real ability to care about people, to connect, to really focus, to inspire or support or empower people to such an extent that some new opportunity comes up because you're vibrating from a level of energy that's so high that great things come to you, and then all of a sudden we go for another run. And another run, maybe it's done in 4 years, or maybe it's done in 10, but who gives a shit? It becomes a much better story. And in fact, that story is the one they write about in the business magazines. They don't write about the dumbass person who just went from this to that and never had to do anything. They write about the ones that went to fucking hell and back, lost it all and came back. Those are the stories that inspire people, because otherwise it could have been a fluke. And that may be the fear that some people have, that it was just a fluke. But it's not a fluke when you care that much.
Robbins elevates Jim to the category of an inspiring hero to be featured in a magazine if he has the strength to come back from the edge. He invites Jim to find his self-esteem, not in external success, but in his ability to act according to his highest values and purpose.
When you care that much, it's not a fluke. But if you really care that much, you got to keep caring. You can't stop caring because it's now difficult. And you can't stop caring because you made mistakes. And you can't stop caring because somebody's hurt. You got to care more. And caring more has to start with you, because if you don't care more for you, there'll be no resource called you to take care of her or him or them or all of those. And so some people have to decide to create a compelling future and say, I'm not going to live here anymore. I have made myself know I'm serious, and I will have to eat some crap along the way. But you know what? I'll eat it, I'll spit it out, and I'll take in something new. And what I'll do now is start to build something. I don't even know what it is. I'll do what's next, and then I'll do what shows up next. And as long as I do it from a place of gratitude and love, as long as I do it from a place of wanting to serve and not guilt, then something higher will keep coming to me.
In order to be able to serve others, one must start by taking care of and loving oneself. When one can balance love for oneself with love for others, one can integrate the need for significance with a desire to contribute.
If you keep punishing yourself, you will destroy your mother, who's right now scared shitless, and it's not fair.
No, she doesn't know.
She knows. Don't you tell me your mother doesn't know.
She's concerned, but no, I don't.
You are bullshit. You don't understand women clearly.
No, that's for sure.
Okay, well then. How many women think she knows on some level? Raise your hand. Okay, take a look around you, my friend.
When Jim was in despair, he was not identifying with the feelings of the people he loved. He thought he could just check out without hurting them. By showing him that his mother knows and suffers, Robbins compels Jim not to hurt her.
She just knows. She's got a deep feeling inside of her of anxiety about you. And she doesn't deserve that. You're supposed to be her son. You know, and so
before you don't
need to make it more calm. You don't need to stack guilt. You need to start making progress. And you can do that immediately. But what you got to do is you got to stop this piece and understand that you don't need to show yourself how significant the problem is and beat yourself up. You need to take care of yourself so that the resource of you can serve all these people you love. And then you'll start loving yourself again.
I can see that. I have shown up as much as I could
Shown your mother as much as you could?
No, I said I've shown up
Oh.
as much as I could daily, and also recognize it's been way short of what would.
No, it's not. It's been short in a couple areas financially, and the consequences are huge. It has not been way short, or all the people wouldn't have been saying goodbye to you with all that love in their hearts.
No.
That's bullshit.
I'm not talking about that.
What are you talking about
I'm
then?
in a different area.
What way short are you talking about?
Like, for instance, for so many people just said, the concept, just get over it. Just get another job. I've had a few interviews, but the whole process, I'd lost so much. I felt I'd lost so much of who I was and what I.
No.
Who
Here's
I
what
was.
you lost. You lost the title.
Yeah.
You lost people respecting you
The
for
purpose.
something. You lost the title. You lost people respecting you for something you're not.
Respecting me for something. What do you mean?
Yeah, for being so significant as a financial master.
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
Actually, they didn't sit around and say they respected me as a person.
Yeah,
I
and so
had
they
that
still,
a great
and they
deal.
still will if you have integrity and step up.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't about all the it was about who I was in the job, not about the junk that I did.
When someone is overwhelmed by feelings of loss, it is important to be very specific about exactly what has been lost. As Jim started lamenting his lost identity, Robbins quickly disagreed. Jim had only lost some external circumstances, his title and the admiration that came with it. As soon as Robbins itemized these circumstances, Jim recovered emotionally and responded that he had not even lost the admiration.
And that was what was so incredible in leaving these folks.
So it's time for a new purpose, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
If you already had that new purpose, how would you feel?
Yes. Like I, so euphoric, and not just this kind of environment. I always come out. I mean, I love bringing out the being human part of being of a human being, and it's such a turn on. I love life. I love people, and I've been really interested in figuring out how to let them love me, where I take it in and I get it. But
You're really interested in that part.
Oh yeah.
A good question to ask yourself in key moments when things are difficult is the question Robbins just asked Jim. If you already had a new purpose, how would you feel? The mere fact of asking the question brings you closer to the possibility of having a new purpose. In answer to Robbins' question, Jim responds with great feeling as he expresses the emotions that give his life its purpose.
It's
So you know what?
held me back a lot in my life.
So the reason you're still in pain?
I'm sorry?
The reason you're still in pain is you're still operating from the same model of the world, where you do something significant so that you're worthy of love, and then you can eventually have it. And God's beating you on the head saying, dickhead, dickhead.
A crisis is always a sign that there is potential for growth. The life solutions that have served Jim in the past are not working for him now. Robbins is asking Jim to wake up and learn new ways to accomplish what he needs.
Are you going to live in the past? Because if you do, there's no future. That's what it comes down to. If you're going to live in the past, there's no future. If there's no future, then everyone in your present is going to be punished.
I'm committed to being here and taking what I get.
No, that's not it.
Well, I don't know that that's not the best I can offer you unless we
No,
talk
the
about
best
it
you can offer
some
me
other
is
way.
the best you can offer me is your real best. Your real best can resolve this.
Well,
Your real best, not the artificial best. Because you've gotten trapped now in going into those unresourceful emotions that have allowed you to feel a lot of things you've not felt. You've just stacked yourself into a place that's just insane. So close your eyes. Do you know how to burp?
burp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a good cannonball burp.
I don't know that I can burp on command, but I know, I guess I was answering, I know what a burp is.
Okay, well, I'd like you to burp, if you would, on command. Let's see if you can do a cannonball burp. Use the microphone, it'll help. No, I didn't say fart, I said burp. Is there someone here who can show him how to burp very quickly? I need someone who don't raise your hand unless you can do a cannonball burp, an explosive burp that there's just no question. Do we have a volunteer back there? Yes.
It seems bizarre to focus at this point on the act of burping, but Robbins realizes that Jim is so tied to his story of pain that mere discussion is not enough. He has to radically change Jim's physiological state, and he will use the burp as a tool. Watch how effective this is in changing Jim from defeated to victorious.
Here, shh, listen. Let's see if we got a cannonball burp back there. Okay. No, right back. First I got one there. Shh. Go ahead, sir. That's pretty damn good. One more over here. Did I see one over here, sir? Where's the gentleman here? Yes, sir. Can you outdo that one? Can you outdo it?
Possibly.
Okay. Oh, possibly.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, go for it. That's if you don't succeed, try again, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand for persistence. Could either one of you teach him how to burp? Could either one of you totally confident you could teach him to burp? In other words, you're conscious of your skill. Sir, are you conscious of your skill? Do you know how to do it? Could you teach him? You, sir.
Yeah.
Well, go over here. Come over here by him and teach him. Please give him a hand very quickly. Women dance, men stand and burp.
The small physical task of burping, which Jim had not been able to do, became a metaphor for other things that Jim had never learned because it was too awkward or too embarrassing.
Okay, notice what he's doing. Watch him very closely, Jim.
Okay, so, Okay, so basically what you're going to do is take some water, swallow it kind of hard. You're going to do it with some breath also. So take a deep breath, hold it, and swallow it. And then you're going to swallow it nice and hard. You feel that? Feel it building up in your stomach?
Just in your mouth.
No, you're going to swallow it.
So it's just in your mouth.
You're gonna.
Have him take the little nipple thing off that.
Yeah, take the nipple off.
Plenty of water.
And then just start swallowing the water nice and hard and feel it in your stomach, including the air. That's it. Yeah, chuck it down. Now take some breaths and swallow the breaths.
There he did it! Give them both a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand!
Throughout the conversation, every time Jim became emotional, he suppressed the emotion in his throat. By asking him to burp and later on even giving him lessons in burping, Robbins shows him how he can release his emotions and also lighten up. In this way, Robbins challenges Jim's physiological state of suffering and repression into release and humor. The audience applause and laughter reinforces the process.
Jim, how did that feel?
Well, the burp,
Yeah.
the burp felt insignificant. Actually, it was very tiny, but I got one out.
Yes. That's good. Well, it's the first step. They usually start small.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you started your business? Isn't that how that business started? Small?
Yeah.
Grew to something big?
Yeah.
There's a future for you here. Now, you thought you had to make a lot of money and be very important to get people to love you, and you just had 1,500 people from 51 countries love you for burping. Jim, do you think they really loved you for burping?
No.
Well, why did they love you?
Same reason I love him.
Why is that?
A connectedness. We're the same. We are all the same. So when the people came over and they were clapping and hugging for you, some part of you knew that it wasn't really for burping. Oh yeah. Well, I asked you the question. You're talking about the burping or the other. You said the burping, so I responded to that.
Yeah, no, I know. But that's kind of the same thing as like what your whole business career was like, only you forgot.
I know a lot of what's driving me. I believe this is an honest assessment when I've thought about this. If I had no debts, and that I just mean if I lost all my assets, but I didn't have obligations to other people,
Yes.
it would be entirely different.
I know, and you know what would happen then? You would not fucking grow to become the man you're about to become. You have no reason to. That's like saying, the ocean would be fine without any fucking waves.
Yeah, okay.
Thank God there's wind going against the water. Thank God for this conflict. Thank God, or you wouldn't fucking grow. You would have been stuck in a place where you'd never experience the joy you really want to experience. You'd never give the love at the level you're really capable of giving. You've given a lot. You've not even begun to give your love because you haven't given enough to yourself. So the love you've given has had a shallow depth. It's there, but it hasn't had its full depth. And people were impressed by the first 4 or 5 feet. But when you show up as the person you really are, which will only happen because it has to happen, because you don't have a choice. Because if you could just sit back and be comfortable, frankly, you would. But you don't have that choice. You have to show up as who you really are. You have to find that depth inside. You have to go until you have to find that stuff. You can't just say, okay, well, I could just have my love and I don't have to do anything because I don't need money, so I can just do little things I like to do. You have to do shit you don't like to do. That's part of the masculine energy. And that's who you are. So thank God you owe all this money. Thank God you're in this fucking hard-ass place. It takes this much that you need a big baseball bat on the side of the head to fucking get this lesson. And you've already given some because you think I'm only talking to you right now. Because you're the only man in this room who needs this lesson. And you're not going to get better crying about what was. And you're not going to get better being guilty about what it was. You're going to be better when you just step up and do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And before you know it, the next thing will lead into something more compelling than you can even make up right now. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with you. Right now it's conceptual, but I
understand.
agree with you.
So let's not make it conceptual. Close your eyes.
Intellectually, Jim has agreed that he must get out of despair and face the future. However, experiencing the emotions that will drive him forward is more difficult. He has blocked positive emotions for so long that it is now difficult for him to access them on his own. Robbins will guide him through a visualization during which he will experience the positive emotions that are necessary to create a compelling future. It will be the repeated stacking of joyous memories that will give Jim the power he needs. This exercise is universally valuable for all kinds of people and all kinds of circumstances. You may want to stand up and go through the experience yourself as you listen.
I want to think of any moment in your life in which you really felt happy, really happy in your core. Any moment. I don't care about the details. Just reach out and pull it and bring it in. No one else in the room should be doing this, only you. Think of any great happy memory in your life at any time and just reach out and grab it and bring it into your body. Physically reach out and bring it in where it actually touches your chest and you feel it come into your body now. Feel it. Nod when it's there. Make a little sound of any sort.
It's there.
Okay, good. And then reach out and grab another really happy memory and bring it in right now. That's it. And bring in another happy memory of any time in your life. It could be a stupid memory, a silly memory. Any memory, any time in your life. It can be the littlest thing. It doesn't need to be big. Reach out and bring it in. And this time feel all three of them inside you simultaneously. That's it. Breathe it and feel all three simultaneously. Now I want you to think of a time in your life, a very, very, very crazy time in your life, but it was crazy fun. Reach out and think of a crazy fun moment, just a moment. Could have been a kid, adult, doesn't matter, bring it in. Crazy fun. And I want you to reach out and grab another crazy fun moment. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's so fun. And then you pull it in, just something you didn't expect. You pull it in and feel it. And feel those combining together. And feel the first three and feel them all starting to vibrate in your body simultaneously. That's it. In your heart, in your head, your shoulders, in your neck. Feel them vibrating, moving around in there. Moving all the way down your legs, lower back, the stomach, chest especially, shoulders, neck, front of you, the forehead, the eyes, the nose. Now I want you to think of a time with friends or family that you really enjoyed. Anytime, friends and family, bring it in. Feel it. Think of another great time with friends and family at any area of your life and actually feel it come into you. Feel it. And feel the feelings of that time. And think of another great time. This time I want you to do a time that you spent as a kid that was really, you were getting away with something and you were having fun. You're doing something, you kind of got away with it. Or maybe you didn't get away with it long term, but right then you thought you were and it felt good. Reach out and grab that thing, you were getting away with it and you did it. Bring that in. The playfulness of that. And then I want you to think of a very sexy moment from your life. Any moment. Just that moment only, nothing else, and just bring that sexy moment in and feel it. That's it. And bring in another really sexy moment from your life, really sensual, sexy moment, any moment. Could have been just something real simple, but in that moment, it felt incredible. Bring it in. I want you to think of a moment of desire where you really desired something. You really, really desired something, wanted it. Oh, you really wanted it, and you were excited about it. Reach out and grab one of those moments and bring it in. That's it. I want you to think of a sacred moment, like a moment where you felt connected to God, where you felt like, in that moment God had come through you and it guided you during a time that seemed so difficult. Reach out and grab that moment, that sacred moment, and bring it in. And feel all of them now vibrating. The sexuality, the spirituality, the happiness, the family, the love. Think of another moment, a really sacred moment, a time we felt close to God, and bring that in as well. Bring it in, feel it. Time in which you felt guided. And Let it go through your whole body now, vibrating in your cells. The energy of that spiritual moment, vibrating through everything. As it vibrates through, let it vibrate through any part of the body that it felt tight or dark or heavy. Make sure that it vibrates so fast that there's a lightness that starts to happen in various parts of your body where you can physically feel it. Make sure that sexiness goes around as well. Make sure that loving feeling goes around. Now I want you to think of a moment in your life in which you felt proud of yourself. Reach out and feel that feeling of being proud. Any moment in your life, could have been as a kid, like doing something silly, but you felt proud. Bring it in. Yeah, feeling proud. Think of another moment in your life when you felt proud at any age, adult or as a kid. Bring it in. Reach out and really bring it in. Proud. And breathe the way you're breathing then now. Think of a moment in your life when you felt proud and you were certain. And reach out and bring that moment in. A moment in your life when you felt proud and you were certain that it was going to be even better in the future. That's it. Bring that into your body. Think of another moment where you were certain that you were going to make it happen, that even though everything was against you, you'd find the way. There have been moments in life like that, haven't there? Where you felt like there was no way, but somehow you found the way. Reach out and take that feeling of finding the way and bringing it in. And find another situation in life where it seems so difficult, but you know what? You found the way, or you were guided to the way, and bring that one in as well. Reach out and grab it and bring it in. You found the way, or you were guided to the way, and it seemed impossible. That's right. Think of another time. This time, I want you to think of a time when you're filled with laughter. Something happened that just made you laugh, and just where you couldn't stop laughing. That's it. Bring that in. Think of another time when you felt like you just couldn't stop laughing, and bring that one in as well. Maybe one where you laughed so hard you coughed, or you spit up something, or something came in, and bring that one in as well. Feel that, and let that laughter now vibrate. Let it vibrate through any part that was heavy and make it light and free. Now, I want you to step in the future as if God was guiding you, and I want you to bring some memories from the future right now. Feel that energy in your body. Reach out, and I want you to bring a memory from the future, a memory of what's coming, something that's going to make you feel so happy. Reach out and grab it. A moment you'll feel proud again. Feel it and bring it in right now. And say yes when it's in.
Yes.
Feel it. Feel that memory as if it's happening right now. Reach out and find another moment from your future in which you will feel proud of yourself, proud of your life, proud of what's happened. Reach out and grab it and bring it in. Feel it. What's there, say yes.
Yes.
That's it. Enjoy it. Feel it. Know it's real. Think of a moment in the future, another moment in which you're going to feel like you've really achieved something you're proud of. One more of those for the future. Anything at all. It could be little or big. Bring it in and feel it. And when it's there, say yes.
Yes.
Feel the vibration of that in your whole body. Now I want you to reach out and find a loving moment from your future, a moment of love or happiness, and bring it in. Bring it in. Feel it again. One you're looking forward to. I want you to think of another moment in your future. It's going to make you so happy. It's a moment that's going to make you so happy. It's in your future. Bring it into this moment. Reach out and bring a moment that's going to make you so happy. Bring it in right now. A happy moment for your future. Such a happy moment. Feel it. Oh. When it's there, say yes.
Yes.
That's it. Now bring in a moment in the future where there's more gratitude in you than you've ever had in your life. A moment for the future where you're so grateful. A moment of celebration and gratefulness. Feel what that event will be and bring it inside right now to that moment of such gratitude, such gratefulness, such thankfulness. Bring it in and feel it. And when it's there, say yes.
Yes.
Feel it. So grateful. Reach out and grab another moment. You're going to be so grateful. So a moment, there will be a moment of celebration, but a moment in which you'll be so thankful. Reach out and grab it and bring it in. Feel it vibrate through your whole body, your eyes, your face, your nose, your back, your spine, your arms, your fingers, your stomach, your lower back, your legs, feet, everything, all the way to your toes. And when you can feel that gratefulness moment is in your body, say yes.
Yes.
That's it. Feel it. I want you to now think of a very romantic moment from your future, a romantic moment that's coming in your future. Yes, a romantic one. Reach in the future and pull it inside right now. Romantic moment that you created in the future. Feel it right now. And when it's there, say, oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Think of a sexy moment from your future, a sensual moment from your future. Reach out and make it really sexy, something to look forward to, sensual. Bring that one in and feel it. Feel it in every location. And say, oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Reach out, might as well get one more. One from the future, totally sexy, outrageous, playful, beautiful, magnificent, sensual moment. Reach out, bring it in. Feel it in every part of your body. Feel it invigorate you, bring life to you. When it's there, say, oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Good. Feel it. And now think of a fun time that's coming in your future, a fun time with family or friends, time that'll be fun in the future. Reach out, grab that fun time and bring it inside. When it's there, say, of course.
Of course.
Think of another fun time with family or friends in the future. Reach out and physically feel it, bring it in. When it's there inside of you and you can feel that fun time with your family or friends, it feels so wonderful. Just say, of course.
Of course.
That's right. And think of one more great fun time you're looking forward to with family or friends in the future. No matter what else is going in life, that's always there. Reach out and grab it and bring it in. Really bring it in and feel it and enjoy it. And when it's there, say, of course it's here.
Of course it's here.
That's right. And then feel like everything you can imagine that you wanted to have happen in the future is going to happen. And you all have 20 seconds. Go as fast as you can. Bring one in after another. And after each one, feel it. Even if it's faster than you can see, bring them in. Use both hands or use one, but do it fast. One after another after another. Any image of love, sensuality, happiness, laughter, fun. Bring them in. Each time you do it now, make a little sound of some sort. Make a little sound with each one. Go ahead. Yes, or a sound. Feel it. Another one. And another one. That's it. And another one. And another one from your future now. And another one. And another one. And do it faster now, a little faster. And make some sounds as you do it now. Make some sounds as you do it now. Make some sounds and say something or make some sounds, either one. You got 10 seconds left. Pour it on. Bring them in faster. So it's overwhelming. So many great memories from the future. Feel them. 5 seconds. Pour it on. Again, again, again. More sound. And then celebrate the life that's yours in your body right now. Celebrate the life that's yours that you're coming to in your body.
As Robbins guides Jim from his moments of joy in the past to his moments of joy in the future, Jim is able to experience the joy of the present moment.
Oh, yes. Very nice. Grab a seat. So, Jim, let me ask you a question. What's the future like?
Joyous.
Yeah.
Loving.
What'd you see? What'd you feel? Give me a hand, first of all. What'd you see? What'd you feel?
Love and connection with a lot of people, family, friends, and people I've never met yet. You know, yeah. So I had a lot of images, and some with kids. A lot of traveling, places I haven't been, and scenic. Just, you know, not so much sunrise by itself, but a lot of people in it.
Ah, that's nice. That's very nice. Good man for that. Very nice. Very nice. So Jim, What's your new nickname?
When one has experienced a powerful change in thoughts and emotions, it is useful to give that state a name to plant it more firmly in one's consciousness. Jim has rediscovered the love and the joy that have always been his primary driving force. He now takes on a new name that will remind him of who he truly is.
Starting now.
Something about joyous or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Tell us what is Joyous Jim.
Joyous Jim.
Joyous Jim, ladies and gentlemen. Is that because you don't take anything lightly, or is that because you know that joy is the only way that you'll be able to create all that everyone deserves around you, including yourself?
I know that's the only vehicle, the only path that is going to be worth the journey.
That's right. Do you know why angels fly? Because they take themselves lightly.
I should have got that one.
Now that you're Joyous Jim and you're on the comeback trail, maybe it's not even comeback. Maybe now instead of having to go back and repeat the same thing, you can do something completely new. How would that feel?
Feel good.
In fact, you know what you may discover? It'll be 100 times more freeing than going back and doing the same stuff again.
Yeah, I'd actually have to correct and say it'd feel great.
Very nice. Give him a hand on. That's good.
Tony,
yes.
I thank you and thank all of you very much.
You're welcome, Jim.
Jim stood up earlier that day in the midst of suicidal despair, feeling that he had lost it all. He presented suicide as a viable solution to his financial dilemma. He believed that by killing himself, he would restore the money to his friend Laura, recover his honor, and end his pain. Robbins took the time to truly understand Jim's predicament before making the ethical commitment that he would report Jim's death as a suicide in order to protect Laura from a life of guilt and shame. By eliminating Jim's imaginary justification for committing suicide, Robbins forced Jim to confront and change the beliefs that led him to suicidal thoughts. While Jim had hoped that he could commit suicide in an honorable, benign way, Robbins showed him that it is impossible to kill yourself without committing a devastating act of aggression to the people around you. Far from being an act of self-sacrifice, suicide was actually a way to shift his own burden of guilt and shame to Laura and the others who loved him. Jim recognized that he had to bear his own burden, take care of Laura and his mother, and win back his honor by doing what is right. Robbins also helped Jim find a compelling future and success that was based on love and contribution without all the hang-ups about feeling worthy. Jim agreed with this but still felt emotionally blocked. So Robbins took him through an emotional exercise for visualizing a satisfying future for himself. Stimulated by this exercise, Jim broke through his feeling of despair and felt intense joy and hope. Jim is no longer in danger of committing suicide. However, Robbins is not quite done with him and will invite him on stage for a second intervention called a values clarification, which will be the subject of another film in this series. In the first intervention, Jim overcame his hopelessness and visualized a future for himself. In the next intervention, he will have an opportunity to prioritize his life values and undergo a rigorous self-evaluation where he learns how to experience success on a day-to-day basis. You will be led through this process yourself and will have an opportunity to understand your values and your way of meeting your values in an entirely new way.
When I started, I had $400. That's it. And so some people would construe that as, well, then you might have to tap your retirement fund, or you got, that's what's,
that I'd already done the retirement fund. I'd sold everything I had. I owned my car. That's it. I had $400 and a lot of debt, but at least I had the cash. And that's where I started this business from. And I've got about 100. I'd have to go total it up, but right now I have about $120,000 to $150,000 on the books that in the following 2, 3, 4 months should come in. Depression's no joke. I wasn't so much. I guess I was in depression, but I've known others that are in it. When you're hopeless, it's not a theoretical discussion. When you're hopeless, there ain't no hope. Part of what was so troubling up at that juncture was I was very clear I'd made a huge difference in many people's lives in my lifetime because I've set out to do that. But what I didn't know was how to make any difference in my own life. What you gave me was the willingness to just to not give up. So what came out of it, like the overwhelming desire to pay Laura, which still is there, huge, because I've constantly paid her on time as I said I would. But but her being concerned she's threatened she lost what she put up was overwhelming for her.
Right.
What has happened? I've used that as a driving force. This lady was presented to me as a client. The first time I talked with her was at 11:30 on a Thursday morning. 11:30 is Thursday morning. She actually didn't know she was in trustee sale. Discovered it the night before, and she was at sale for 2 that afternoon. Within that 2.5 hours, we struck a deal about my fee and what it would, take for me to help her. And not so much what it will take. It's like, hey, if I did this, are you willing to do that? Yeah. And we were both sort of like, yes. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of,
yes.
It's like you don't call in to go get 3 bids for the fire department.
I'm curious, how did that make you feel? Because I know when we started this conversation a year ago in the front of the room, one of the biggest issues why you were considered checking out was the loss of identity because you felt responsible for someone losing their nest egg. In this case, you just saved this woman's nest egg. How is that for karma, the fact that you stuck around to do that? Did you make that connection?
No, I've never made that one.
Maybe it's time.
Well, thanks. So that with her, yes, I will actually let that in. I mean,
How did it feel even at the time? How did it feel?
Nervous as hell.
Right.
Because it's not certain your technique's going to work.
Right.
It should work.
Right.
It says it will work.
Right.
You've never done one of that nature, so we'll see.
Right.
So anyway, I went over with confidence with her and said, this should work, this is what we'll do, etc. It did. Wow. So it was, the weekend of, I don't know,
So how did it feel at that point? How did it feel at the
awesome.
point?
It was just, victory dance. It was, she's still in it because she's a really very nice person and undeserving to have ended up. It wasn't, she was a big flake and doesn't pay anything and all that. It's just awesome. We've been a real team to both come to a good conclusion.
What's the future for Joyous Jim?
Oh man, it's awesome, Tony. It's awesome. I'll fix the money side and having sufficient around racing, definitely racing. I mean, I love speed, I love motorcycles, and working with folks. Money, but the opportunities it gives. Just real involvement with people and doing what I do and having a good time.